If you say this, no woman will resist. Stoicism, modern Stoic. What if I told you that just a few carefully chosen words, spoken at the right moment, could instantly spark attraction in a woman's mind? Not because of your looks or your status, but because your words reach her emotions in a way she can't ignore. Isn't it true that we often struggle to understand what truly draws someone in? How can you speak in a way that makes a woman lean in, smile slowly, and start seeing you differently, without the need to impress or convince her? The answer lies in more than just surface-level tactics or tricks. The Stoics teach us that true connection comes from understanding ourselves and cultivating emotional resilience. And when you approach relationships with the strength of character and virtue that Stoicism promotes, you'll find your words become more impactful and meaningful. These 6 phrases I'm about to reveal are not gimmicks. They are rooted in psychology, emotion, and timeless human dynamics. When you learn how to speak in a way that resonates with a woman's emotional core, you won't need to chase anyone ever again. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about showing up as your best, most authentic self, one that's grounded in the wisdom of Stoic principles. When you do this, you become magnetic without trying. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. This applies to more than just material things. It's about cultivating a life filled with emotional richness. It's this inner contentment, grounded in self-mastery, that makes your words truly irresistible. They hit deeper, sparking curiosity and intrigue, leaving a lasting impression. So before we dive into the powerful phrases that will make her think about you long after the conversation ends, take a moment to support this mission. By subscribing, you're not just upgrading your own life, you're helping to spread this wisdom to millions of men who are tired of being overlooked, tired of the friend zone, and tired of blending in. When you support, we grow. And when we grow, we change lives, yours, mine, and his. Now, let's get into the words that will make her heart lean in before she even knows why. Phrase 1. I like women who know what they want. There's a phrase that might seem simple on the surface, but carries a weight far more powerful than most realize. I like women who know what they want. When a man says this, he's not just offering a compliment. He's setting a standard, creating a challenge, and establishing a subtle filter that changes the dynamic of any interaction. Too often, especially when men are attracted to a woman, they instinctively try to gain her approval. They might say things they think she wants to hear, laugh a little too loud, or try to be the nice guy, hoping that their sweetness, humour, or intelligence will win her over. However, by doing so, they shift the energy, unknowingly putting her in the position of the prize and themselves in the role of the one doing the chasing. It turns into an audition, a performance, and no matter how charming, it's a routine that becomes predictable and eventually boring. But imagine a different scenario. You look her in the eye, composed and confident, and you calmly say, I like women who know what they want. Suddenly, everything shifts. The tables have turned. You're no longer seeking her approval. You're simply expressing a preference, a standard. This subtle change in approach transitions the conversation from, am I good enough for her, to, is she what I'm looking for? It's a small but powerful shift in perspective, and it's one that causes her to reflect on herself. She starts asking, do I seem confident to him? Do I appear like I know what I want? Am I meeting his standard? This internal questioning is the very essence of what builds deeper attraction. Now, she's not just being won over by your charm. She's evaluating whether she fits into the mold of someone who is worthy of your time and attention. This shift works because women are drawn to men who possess clarity of mind, purpose, and values. When you express that you admire women who know what they want, you're revealing something crucial about yourself. You know what you want, and that makes you an incredibly attractive individual. It signals strength, self-assurance, and a rare reliability, qualities that are deeply appealing because they create a sense of stability and confidence. You're not someone who's just waiting for validation from others. You're someone who has a clear sense of self and knows what he values in others. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By presenting yourself with clarity, you elevate the interaction to a new level of depth, making you not only stronger, but more magnetic. The timing of when you say this is crucial. It's best delivered when she shows some degree of decisiveness or leadership, whether she orders confidently at a restaurant, takes a strong stance on an opinion, or expresses a clear vision of what she wants in life. That's when you look her in the eye, nod with quiet admiration and say, "I like women who know what they want." Then pause. Don't rush to soften it or apologize. You're not saying it to gain her approval, you're merely stating what you value. By holding that line with calm and certainty, you're creating an emotional gravity that draws her in. The pause after the statement allows the words to settle, giving her space to reflect on them and subtly pulling her closer. Moreover, this approach is especially effective when she asks about the type of woman you're into. Most men would fumble, replying with vague answers like, "I don't really have a type," or "someone who's nice." These answers are forgettable, lacking any real substance. Instead, if you respond with, "I like women who know what they want," you're doing two things at once. First, you're showing strength and confidence in your preferences. Second, you're sparking a challenge within her. She'll now be measuring herself against your standard, wondering if she can live up to the clarity and decisiveness you clearly value. This not only deepens the attraction, but shifts the power dynamic in a way that makes her want to qualify herself to you. So, as you go through life, remember the power of knowing what you want, not just in a partner, but in everything you do. It's an incredibly magnetic quality that will not only attract the right people, but also lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Women are drawn to men who are grounded in their values and who aren't afraid to express what they want. As you reflect on this, think about how you can embody this clarity and strength in your own life. And, as always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on the phrase, "I like women who know what they want"? How do you think it impacts the way relationships develop? If this message spoke to your heart today, leave a comment about faith. I am a high-value man. Phrase 2. You make me want to be a better version of myself. This statement, simple yet profoundly impactful, carries a unique kind of magnetism when spoken sincerely, especially within the framework of modern Stoicism and meaningful male-female relationships. For men aged 35 to 70 who are learning to navigate the complexities of connection and self-mastery in today's world, saying this phrase is far more than just a compliment. It is a heartfelt acknowledgement of personal transformation sparked by someone else's presence. Drawing from Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes control over one's emotions and continuous self-improvement, irrespective of external circumstances, this phrase represents a powerful fusion of vulnerability and strength. It communicates to a woman that her influence in your life motivates you to elevate yourself, echoing the Stoic ideal that true growth comes from within, but can be inspired by the relationships we cultivate. Picture Marcus Aurelius, the famed Stoic emperor, who reflected on the people around him as forces shaping his patience, wisdom, and courage. Similarly, when you say, "You make me want to be a better version of myself," you reveal that her presence serves as a catalyst for your personal evolution, blending admiration with responsibility for your own growth. This is not a declaration of weakness or dependence, but an embodiment of Stoic resilience, where you honor the role of others in your life while maintaining steadfast control over your character and actions. In the context of modern life, where distractions and superficial interactions often dominate, this phrase stands out as a beacon of sincerity and depth. It signals that your interest transcends fleeting attraction and is rooted in a desire for a meaningful connection that encourages mutual growth. When you express this, you tap into a fundamental human desire to inspire and be inspired by others in ways that enrich and elevate. This phrase resonates because it balances emotional openness with a Stoic's commitment to self-discipline and improvement. It's a subtle way of saying that your admiration for her does not weaken your resolve, but rather strengthens your pursuit of becoming a better man. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us that emotions are not to be suppressed, but transformed. Saying this phrase aligns perfectly with that teaching. It turns the feeling of affection into a disciplined motivation for growth, a way to channel admiration into concrete actions that reflect your best self. It invites not only reflection, but action, encouraging you to embody qualities like patience, empathy, courage, and integrity as a living testament to the respect and inspiration she instills in you. For men aiming to integrate Stoic principles into their relationships, this phrase can serve as a powerful tool to deepen emotional intimacy while reinforcing personal boundaries and self-respect. It sets a tone where the relationship becomes a shared journey of self-discovery and improvement, rather than a source of validation or dependency. Much like two warriors who train side by side, challenging and encouraging one another, this approach fosters a bond rooted in mutual respect and continuous growth. The beauty of this phrase lies in its ability to communicate complex emotional truths in a simple, direct way that feels both sincere and strong. It reassures her that you are not only aware of her impact, but committed to honouring it by becoming your best self, not because you are asked to, but because you genuinely want to. In practical terms, adopting this mindset means more than just saying the words. It requires living them through your actions. Be patient when things get tough. Listen actively and empathetically. Uphold your values even when it's inconvenient. And take responsibility for your own growth without expecting her to fix you. This balance of emotional honesty and Stoic self-mastery will make your relationships richer and more resilient. Ultimately, saying, "You make me want to be a better version of myself," is a modern expression of ancient wisdom, illustrating how Stoicism remains deeply relevant in cultivating authentic, powerful connections today. It blends emotional intelligence, humility, and courage into a phrase that no woman can resist, not because it's a trick or line, but because it embodies genuine strength and respect. So, next time you find yourself inspired by someone special, speak this truth clearly and confidently. Doing so will not only deepen your bond, but also reinforce your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself, a commitment that lies at the heart of both Stoic philosophy and lasting, meaningful relationships. Phrase 3. That's what I like most about you. That phrase, "that's what I like most about you," sounds deceptively simple, but when wielded with mastery, it becomes a powerful tool that transforms you from just another man tossing out shallow compliments into the rare man who truly sees a woman. In a world where most compliments are cheap, surface level, and quickly forgotten, focused only on looks, style, or fleeting smiles, this phrase cuts deeper. It's not about flattery or empty praise, it's about recognition, insight, and connection. Every man can say, "You're beautiful," but it takes presence, awareness, and emotional intelligence to say, "That passion you have when you talk about your goals, that's what I like most about you." This is what separates the forgettable from the unforgettable, the generic from the magnetic. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. To truly connect, you must listen, observe, and understand what others miss. This phrase is a mirror, reflecting a part of her essence that goes unnoticed by the crowd. It shows her that you don't just see the surface, you see the fire beneath. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, where genuine connection is a rare commodity, offering this kind of acknowledgement isn't just attractive, it's revolutionary. Imagine her speaking about her career, not the title or salary, but the meaning behind her work, the drive to make a difference. Maybe she speaks quietly about helping others or reveals a fierce ambition wrapped in vulnerability. That's your moment to step in with calm, unwavering focus and say, "That's what I like most about you. The way you care so deeply, it's real, it's rare." Then hold that silence. Don't rush to fill the space with noise. That pause is your power. It gives weight to your words, allows her to feel truly seen, truly valued. You're creating an emotional imprint, a memory only the two of you share. This is not about poetic charm, it's about emotional truth, the kind that moves a woman on a level few men ever reach. The phrase's power intensifies when you resist the urge to overuse it. It's not a tool for every interaction or every woman you meet. Use it selectively, only when the moment is genuine, when she's revealed something authentic, when your presence is steady and grounded. Your tone must carry authority and sincerity, because words without presence are meaningless. Think of it like the Stoic ideal of being unshakable in the face of life's storms. When she helps someone quietly, without fanfare, or reveals her drive without boasting, or shares a vulnerable truth that exposes her courage, that is the moment to lean in, lower your voice and say, "That right there, that's what I like most about you." What follows isn't just emotion, it's a magnetic force that pulls her towards you. She's drawn not because you gave her attention, but because you offered recognition of her true self, not the facade the world often demands. This taps into a deep, universal desire every woman holds, to be valued for her essence, her character, her soul, not just her appearance. The modern man who understands this wields immense power. You're not chasing validation, you're commanding respect and connection by seeing what others overlook. This isn't just about words, it's about presence, timing, and emotional insight. It's about owning your space as a man who knows how to create meaning in a world of emptiness. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. By focusing on the moment and truly seeing her, you forge a bond that transcends superficial attraction and builds lasting emotional connection. Use this phrase with intention. Let it become your signature, your mark of the man who sees deeply and speaks with power. Start today. Pay attention to what others miss. Notice the spark in her eyes, the courage behind her quiet moments, the strength beneath her vulnerability. Speak with conviction. That's what I like most about you. Watch how it transforms your relationships, how it shifts the energy, how it makes you unforgettable. If you're ready to claim this power, hit like, share your thoughts in the comments. What quality do you value most in the women around you? And subscribe for more insights that sharpen your presence and elevate your life. This is more than advice. It's a command to rise, to lead, and to own your space with confidence and clarity. Be the man who sees. Be the man who commands respect. Be the man she never forgets. And if you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I am the man who holds the power. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, silence isn't distance, it's discipline. Phrase 4. I appreciate a woman who's not afraid to speak her mind. I appreciate a woman who's not afraid to speak her mind. It shows strength, confidence, and self-assurance, qualities that resonate deeply in a relationship. But let me ask you, have you ever considered how this aligns with the timeless principles of Stoicism, a philosophy built on wisdom, virtue, and self-control? Stoicism offers an incredible framework for understanding human interactions, including those with women. Imagine, for a moment, that you're faced with a challenging situation with a woman in your life. Perhaps she's upset, frustrated, or simply expressing herself in a way that might make you uncomfortable. Instead of reacting impulsively or trying to fix things immediately, consider taking a Stoic approach. Remember the words of Epictetus, who once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." A man who masters this response, remaining calm, understanding, and composed, will earn the respect and admiration of those around him, including the women in his life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. When a woman speaks her mind, she's often revealing not just her feelings, but her values and desires. Rather than viewing this as a challenge or something to resist, embrace it as an opportunity to listen, to learn, and to grow. There's immense power in understanding the perspective of others, and that power is amplified when you show genuine interest and empathy. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is recognizing that emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply signals that reflect our judgments. If you can step back, take a moment to breathe, and then respond thoughtfully, you can create a deeper connection. In this way, you're not just reacting to what's happening in front of you, but you're engaging in a meaningful way that encourages mutual respect. In relationships, particularly those with women, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we need to constantly fix things, or that we need to always have the right answer. But often, what women really appreciate is someone who can be present and supportive without rushing to offer solutions. It reminds me of a famous quote by Marcus Aurelius: "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you approach your interactions with women from a Stoic mindset, you're not just looking for a quick fix, you're cultivating an environment where both of you can express yourselves openly and without judgment. This level of emotional maturity fosters trust, and trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to understand the impermanence of life. Just as the Stoics believed in accepting the natural flow of events, we should also accept the ebb and flow of relationships. People change, situations evolve, and conflicts arise. But the strength of a man lies in how he adapts to these changes without being swayed by fleeting emotions. Instead of reacting to a woman's words or actions with defensiveness or anger, a Stoic man would consider her words, reflect on them, and then respond with grace and wisdom. It's in this way that you create a dynamic where both parties feel valued and understood, which is the ultimate key to lasting connection. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation with a woman who isn't afraid to speak her mind, remember that this is an opportunity to demonstrate your own emotional control and wisdom. Apply the Stoic principles of calmness, empathy, and self-mastery, and you'll find that your relationships, not just with women but with everyone, become more meaningful, rewarding, and fulfilling. You may not always agree with everything being said, but the way you respond will speak volumes about your character. To sum it up, as the Stoic philosopher Seneca put it, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. In your interactions with others, especially with women, make sure you don't waste the opportunity to be present, calm, and thoughtful. Let your actions be a reflection of the wisdom you've gained through Stoicism, and watch how it enhances not just your relationships, but your life as a whole. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you approach conversations with women who speak their minds? Do you find yourself reacting or listening with a Stoic mindset? Share your opinions in the comments below. Phrase 5. I don't know if you can handle me. I don't know if you can handle me. This phrase carries a quiet but undeniable power, not because it shouts or demands attention, but because it hints at something far deeper beneath the surface, something mysterious and intriguing. When you say it, you're not just throwing out a casual line or trying to impress. You're signaling clearly, though subtly, that you're not just another guy seeking quick approval or easy validation. Instead, you are a man of layers, complexity, and depth, someone with substance, energy, strong personal standards, and maybe even a little chaos tucked inside. It's a phrase that quietly asserts you are not for everyone, and that selectiveness is exactly what makes it irresistibly magnetic. Most men today make the mistake of presenting themselves like an open book, exposing all their cards too soon. They try to be as accessible, agreeable, and non-threatening as possible, hoping that being easygoing and simple will earn them favour. But here's the thing. When a woman feels she already knows everything about a man, her curiosity quickly fades. And without curiosity, attraction begins to die. Fast. Curiosity is the spark that keeps emotional interest alive. It's the magnet that draws someone closer and keeps them engaged. This simple phrase breaks that cycle by introducing friction, but in a playful, teasing way that challenges her rather than shutting her down. And that challenge, when delivered with genuine confidence and control, becomes wildly attractive because it awakens effort, intrigue, and emotional investment, all of which are key ingredients to building real connection and desire. Picture this. She's teasing you, maybe telling you she's hard to impress or boasting about how fearless she is. It's her way of testing the waters, pushing boundaries and seeing where you stand. That's your moment to lean back just slightly, smile knowingly, and say, "I don't know if you can handle me." Then you pause, letting the silence linger for a moment longer. That pause is pure magic. What you've just done is reframe the entire dynamic between you two. She thought she was the one taking the lead, making the bold moves and challenging you. But with that single sentence and your calm confidence, you flip the script completely. Suddenly, she's the one wondering what it is about you that might be too much. Whether it's your ambition, your emotional depth, your lifestyle, your intelligence, or your unwavering confidence. She doesn't know yet, but now she wants to find out. And that intrigue is powerful. This is where the phrase transcends its literal meaning. It's not just about what you say, but what you imply. The unknown, the unpredictable, the exciting possibility that you are a man who can't be easily tamed or categorized. It invites her to lean in, to guess, to test, and maybe even to challenge you a bit more, just to see if you're bluffing. And that's exactly what you want, because it means she's engaged, curious, and emotionally activated. She's invested in discovering more about you. But here's the critical part. This line only works if you can fully back it up. You cannot say, "I don't know if you can handle me," and then revert to the behaviour of every other man who chases approval, over-explains himself, or reacts nervously to a woman's responses. Your actions must match your words. You need to embody calmness, grounded confidence, and a sense of being unbothered by her reactions. You need to know your worth so deeply that you never feel the need to prove it or seek validation from her or anyone else. In today's fast-paced, often superficial world, this kind of quiet self-assurance stands out like a beacon. It reminds you to embrace your complexity and hold firm to your own identity without compromise. It's about creating an aura of mystery and challenge that draws others toward you naturally, rather than forcing attraction through effort or desperation. Relating this to modern life, where everything tends to be immediate and overshared, being a man who maintains some mystery and depth is more valuable than ever. Social media encourages oversharing and the illusion of complete transparency, but real human connection thrives on layers and discovery. By cultivating your own emotional intelligence, ambition, and calm self-possession, you invite genuine curiosity and respect. The phrase, "I don't know if you can handle me," is a way to reclaim that space of intrigue and complexity in your interactions. It's a call to be a man who is both confident and unpredictable, steady but exciting, grounded yet alive with possibility. When you own that fully, every conversation becomes charged with potential, every glance carries unspoken meaning, and every interaction transforms into an invitation to explore something deeper and more meaningful. So, if you want to be truly irresistible, cultivate that inner strength, hold your standards high, and never shy away from being a little mysterious. Because it's that balance, the blend of calm confidence and playful challenge, that no woman can resist. Phrase 6. I'm not that easy. I'm not that easy. This is not just some clever line to throw out in passing. It's a powerful, unshakable declaration of your self-worth. When you say it calmly and confidently, you're sending a message louder than words. You don't crumble the moment a woman shows interest. You don't chase or bend just to earn approval. You stand tall, steady, in control. Most men never grasp this because they're too eager to please. One smile, one compliment, and they're already losing their power, shifting the entire dynamic. She becomes the one who holds the cards, deciding if you're worthy, while you become just another guy desperate for her attention. But the moment you drop the words, "I'm not that easy," with quiet authority, you flip the script completely. You're no longer reacting to her charm or her tests. You're setting the terms. You're calm, you're centered, you're unmoved, not because you don't like her, but because you know exactly what you bring to the table, and you're not giving it away cheaply. That calm, steady resistance is magnetic. It's the essence of modern Stoicism applied to attraction, discipline, self-respect, and selective presence, wrapped in one phrase that communicates, I'm not handing out my attention or approval to just anyone. It has to be earned. And that concept, it's intoxicating to the right woman, the woman who values strength over desperation. Now, the power of this phrase doesn't come from the words alone, but how you deliver them. Use, I'm not that easy, when she's teasing, testing your boundaries, or making a flirtatious move expecting you to melt like most men do. Hold your ground. Look her directly in the eyes. Let a slight, confident smile creep across your lips. Speak it clearly, calmly, and without hesitation. Then, and this is critical, pause. Don't rush to fill the silence or soften the blow. Let the words linger. That moment of quiet is where the magic ignites. Her mind starts racing. Did he just resist me? Did he push back? Is he serious? That internal tension is the spark of attraction. You're not just pushing back. You're setting a boundary with charm, signaling that your presence and your energy aren't cheap. They have value, and that value commands respect, effort, honesty, and genuine interest. This is the mark of a high-value man, the kind of man who doesn't beg or chase, but attracts on his own terms. Consider the wisdom of the Stoics, who knew that true power lies in self-control and inner discipline. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In today's fast-paced, swipe-right world, most men fall into the trap of reacting emotionally, chasing validation from every attractive face they meet. But the modern Stoic man, he stands apart. He is the calm in the storm, the unmovable force. I'm not that easy is his weapon, his shield, his statement of sovereignty over his desires and his attention. This phrase tells her that you won't be just another notch on her belt. You are a man of standards, a man of principle. You own your worth, and you demand that any woman who steps into your world respects it. In modern life, this mindset translates to every interaction. Whether in dating, business, or friendships, the principle remains: don't give away your power. Be selective, disciplined, and unwavering. The world is full of distractions and cheap validations, but your time and energy are precious commodities. The man who understands this is the man who commands respect and admiration effortlessly. So stop chasing. Start owning. Say, I'm not that easy. Not as a challenge, but as a statement of your sovereignty. Use it as your litmus test. If she's the right woman, she will rise to the challenge. If not, she's simply not worthy of your attention. Now, it's your turn to wield this power. Use this phrase. Own your presence. Command respect. The difference between men who fade into the background and men who live fully and command their world is this simple, potent phrase. Comment below with your commitment to stop chasing and start leading. Like this message, share it. Subscribe for more powerful truths on modern Stoicism and become the man who isn't just liked, but desired and respected. Remember, the world respects the man who respects himself first. Be that man. Say it, mean it, live it. I'm not that easy. This is your moment. Own it. Phrase 7. There's something about you that keeps me guessing. There's something about you that keeps me guessing. This seemingly simple phrase holds immense power in capturing the essence of attraction. It's not just a casual compliment or a fleeting remark, but a profound insight into what truly draws people toward you. What makes someone fascinating is often their ability to remain a bit of a mystery, a quality that isn't about hiding or deceiving, but about exercising control over what you reveal and when. In a world where transparency and emotional openness are often glorified, it takes great strength and wisdom to maintain a sense of intrigue. This is where the timeless principles of Stoicism come into play, offering a framework that can make you not only more self-aware, but also more magnetic to those around you. The core of Stoicism is emotional resilience, a quality that helps you maintain composure in the face of life's challenges. It's not about suppressing emotions, but rather learning how to control them so they don't control you. And when you master this, You become someone who exudes confidence, strength, and mystery, traits that are undeniably attractive. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." This insight highlights the importance of self-discipline. A man who is disciplined in his actions, thoughts, and emotions is never erratic, never revealing everything at once. Instead, he knows how to pace himself, how to keep certain aspects of his life and thoughts private. This is what creates intrigue, a sense that there's more beneath the surface, that one must earn the right to discover it. In a world where people often overshare and look for constant validation, the man who is able to maintain emotional boundaries and remain calm under pressure stands out. When you practice the art of Stoicism, you create a space where your actions speak louder than your words, where your presence is felt before you even say anything. This restraint and self-control are inherently attractive because they suggest that you are not desperate for approval, but are comfortable in your own skin. It's a quiet kind of confidence that is far more powerful than any attempt to impress others with flashy words or behaviours. Take the example of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers. He once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that true attraction, whether in friendships or romantic relationships, stems not from what you do to impress others, but from the quality of your mind and the steadiness of your emotional life. When you practice Stoicism, you train your mind to focus on what truly matters, and by doing so, you naturally draw people to you without the need for showmanship. Women, in particular, are attracted to men who possess this inner strength. They are drawn to those who are not trying to win them over, but rather those who maintain their integrity and purpose without being swayed by external validation. The intrigue comes from your ability to remain composed and centered, creating an aura of mystery and strength that makes others want to know more. In many ways, this is the essence of modern Stoicism, being in control of your reactions and emotions. When you stop reacting impulsively to situations, you begin to craft a persona that commands respect and admiration. Think about it. When life throws challenges your way, what is more attractive? Someone who loses their temper, or someone who faces adversity with calmness and thoughtfulness? The Stoic man does not react with emotional volatility, but responds with measured responses and thoughtful action. This is the type of man who is not only respected, but also deeply admired. It's an approach to life that builds emotional intelligence, allowing you to navigate the world with confidence and grace. Practicing Stoicism helps you to detach from the chaos and drama that often dominate people's lives. Instead of getting caught up in the ups and downs of fleeting emotions, you remain steady, knowing that true peace comes from within and cannot be swayed by external circumstances. It's this emotional stability that makes a man not just attractive, but magnetic. People are drawn to him because he is the eye of the storm, unaffected by the turbulence around him. Imagine living life with this kind of peace and clarity, where you are not driven by fear, anxiety, or the need to constantly seek validation. When you embody Stoic principles, your presence becomes something that others feel and respect, even if you don't say a word. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to try. Your actions will speak louder than anything you could say, and you'll attract people, particularly women, who are drawn to this calm, confident energy. As the Stoics believed, our happiness and peace of mind are rooted in how we respond to the world around us. This is why when you adopt the mindset of a Stoic, you stop being at the mercy of other people's reactions and opinions. Instead, you choose your own path and let your actions reflect your true character. In today's world, where people are often too quick to react and too eager to share every thought or feeling, the man who practices Stoicism stands apart. He is predictable in his integrity, reliable in his composure, and compelling in his mystery. So if you want to unlock your true potential as a man of strength and attraction, embrace Stoicism. When you learn to control your emotions, focus on what truly matters, and maintain a sense of mystery about yourself, you will notice how the world around you shifts. People will start to see you in a new light. Women, especially, will be captivated by your emotional resilience and strength. The more you practice self-control and mindfulness, the more magnetic you will become. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So I challenge you to embrace this philosophy, to become a man who keeps others guessing, whose presence alone is magnetic, and whose strength lies in his ability to remain calm, focused, and in control. How has Stoicism shaped your life? How do you feel about the power of self-discipline and emotional control? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you master these 7 phrases, not just knowing what to say, but understanding how to say them, something profound happens. Conversations transform from awkward exchanges to natural, fluid dialogues. Women, rather than simply hearing words, begin to lean in, truly listening, and feeling a connection that resonates deeply. You'll notice a shift in the way they respond to you. It's not just about what you're saying, but how you make them feel. In a world where many men find themselves constantly chasing after attention and validation, this is the shift that stops the cycle. Suddenly, you're not the one trying to convince anyone of your worth. Instead, you become the man they remember, the one who commands respect effortlessly. Attraction, as you'll discover, isn't about volume. It's never been about how many words you can throw at someone or how much you can say. It's all about your vibe, the energy that you bring into every conversation, every interaction. When you learn to speak from a place of grounded power, your presence will have an undeniable influence even before you utter a single word. You see, this is where the art of Stoicism plays a pivotal role. Stoicism teaches us emotional resilience, the strength to remain composed and steady, regardless of external circumstances. And when you apply this philosophy to the way you communicate, it's like unlocking a new level of connection. The secret isn't in over-explaining yourself or trying to persuade others with flashy words. It's in learning the balance between silence and speech, between being present and holding space. A Stoic man knows that true power lies not in shouting to be heard, but in the quiet confidence of letting his actions speak for themselves. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This wisdom suggests that the man who embodies his values doesn't need to over-explain or justify his presence. His essence speaks for him. By mastering these simple but powerful phrases and combining them with the principles of Stoicism, you begin to project an aura of quiet strength that leaves an indelible impression on those around you. The key is consistency, saying less but saying it with intention and composure, allowing your words to flow from a place of internal peace rather than external pressure. Women find this magnetic because it's rare. In a world full of oversaturated conversation and noise, it's the man who knows when to speak and when to remain silent who truly stands out. This ability to be emotionally steady, to control your responses and reactions, is a direct result of applying Stoic practices to your daily life. By doing so, you stop seeking validation and start attracting it naturally. This isn't about manipulating others with clever words or strategic charm. It's about mastering yourself and becoming a man who is comfortable in his own skin, whose presence demands respect without effort. If this philosophy has helped you gain clarity, I encourage you to support the mission. Subscribe, because the power we're discussing here isn't about empty talk. It's about real, actionable strength. With your support, we can reach even more men who are ready to stop settling for less and start rising to their true potential. It's time to stop waiting for life to give you permission to be great. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going, because when men rise together, they build a stronger, more confident world.